So, Pondegard on the attack first, Odin's Legion on the defense. Pondegard really good on the attack this season, so let's see if they can start out strong. And let's find out if we're gonna see a defense or not, because that's been a story of today. We haven't really seen any final fights really, because it was just over by then. Look at the Flamers, by the way, already 3.
A lot of flames.
I
I mean, it's understandable since the only range unit, you know. So it's definitely you need to get some of these things.
Absolutely.
We see also some jabs from from Odin's Legion. Probably maybe they're gonna try to destroy the towers and defend the wall.
Yeah, I'm really
if you look at their setup, they also have Myrmidons, monks, VGs, not a unit we see often, I guess.
Yeah.
And we also have claimers. We're gonna see if they're gonna be defending the wall or not, but most likely it looks like a wall defense coming from Odin's Legion.
Yeah, very low on camels, both teams. Very heavy on the shield maidens and the Varangians on Odin's Legion, by the way. So true to the name, Odin's, being the Viking style team that they are. And Pondegard bringing, I would say, classic NA mostly. Heavy shields, heavy front line, a lot of Fort Bracho there. Also a couple of Hop Sergeants, but yeah, 3 Flamers on the side of Pondegard. And to be honest, not a lot of Cav. Only 3 units of Cav on 4 units of Cav on the side of Odin's.
Yeah, it looks like they're planning to go for a full wall defense. You can also see a lot of muskets, and they also have a one longbow.
Yeah.
So it definitely looks like a wall defense coming from Odin's Legion and fully commitment from wall defense.
Yeah, definitely.
They're using the Cav most likely for the sally outs or like to delay time. When it comes to reinforcement fights, or if it comes to ground fight, they still have few Cavs to use.
Yeah, maybe it. Keep an eye out on Pusto. He's definitely been really good in the longbow to make sure that he finds those specialists, especially in a match against I think it was Argonautus last round, if I'm correct. It was just insane what he was able to do there. Or Buddy even. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Last attack of Pondegard for the season. Or not. It depends on the tiebreakers. We'll see.
It is also a thing that Pondegard should do is like swap to muskets to destroy artillery. Since like you can see, like you should press tab once the game starts, you know, and look at the setup, and you can tell that they're gonna be defending the wall, especially with the hero and unit setup that Odin's Legions have. And they should definitely switch to muskets and destroy artillery as soon as possible.
Yeah, because you can now see, for example, the pike, right, being close to the gate, and he's not gonna do much unless he's swapped out to the musket. Javelins on the left side, so looks like Odins are planning the same thing that we saw last game as well. Yeah. Didn't work out great when Argonautas were doing it, but maybe Odin's Legion got a better execution.
They had the chance, I would say, but they didn't execute the last part of it pretty well.
Exactly.
You can also see the battering rams low HP coming from Pondegard.
Yeah, really low.
All the arties from the front side from Odin's Legion have been focusing it.
Yep, and also the right side is still standing up as well. A lot of arties still up, by the way. Early, a lot of arties still up. Finally, it's going down. You can see Artie is actually working on the gate by himself, so with enough time he will be able to get it. Even, so Pondegard is just going to try and destroy the gate by using all the cannons and artillery that's there. Left tower starting to get really low, it's only a 5th. Yeah. Center towers are reaching. Oh, open gate. It's a pretty smart move, by the way, because now you can't really destroy the gate.
Yeah, it's just like Yabadi versus Argonauts, but Yabadi didn't open the gate, but technically they're giving up the wall, so there is nothing they can do about it.
Ooh, yeah, nice pickup here. Artie and is getting in together with Xedaris, trying to get all the javelins sitting on the supply there, but quickly spotted by Ruffle. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's really hard to kill javs on your own. So
yeah, none were killed in the
left
process.
Tower, left wall not being protected. I think should have scuffed. They were gonna. Oh, he didn't make it up. He decided to jump back off. But for sure, the side tower is gonna reach for sure. Let's see if Odin's legions are gonna react to it fast, if Vanguard are gonna be pushing from there or not.
Yeah, and also we're gonna have to see if the Battering Ram is actually getting pushed eventually, because
they should definitely push the button.
I mean, again, it is really low, so a couple musket bombs and it may get destroyed, but they need to get those gates opened up real quick. Turbo Stop is bringing his flamers, so
actually, if you don't push the battering ram for like 1 minute, it resets by itself.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets destroyed and it resets by itself. We see Vanguard here coming from the middle tower. I hope they wait for the side tower to reach and not push, or just they're causing distraction so the side tower could reach.
Yeah, so they were looking for a couple traps. They managed to hit a trebuchet on the javelins on the side. They're still trying to use those javelins, by the way. I'm not sure if this is gonna be working out for them. If Pondegard pushes really aggressively, yeah, here we go. Yeah, yep.
I think the right side or the left side, we're gonna find out.
True Pondegard style. I like it, forcing the push here.
Yeah, they're gonna be going for the supply.
And also Mist and then
they have one.
Yeah, Mist and then still sitting on the javelin, so they're not gonna attribute much. Ooh, big flamers there.
And it's half dead as well. I like it. They're actually going from mid. They're going inside the city. But if they take a fight over there, it's gonna be so horrible for them. Because they're gonna be fighting where Odin's Legion spawn, and it's gonna be so bad. Yep. They need to start doing something. They cannot sit over there.
Yeah, maybe they're trying, I don't know what they're trying to do. C4 is getting killed by Pustoy. They may be trying to get the supply. I mean, Odin's doesn't even have to get this fight, right? They can just let them come.
They need to take the fight over there. If they take the fight over there, they definitely win it. Because they spawn right where they're taking the fight.
Yeah, that's true as well.
But they need to use the... Like, they can come from basically everywhere. Odin's Legion.
Oh, here we go. Flamers in position.
Oh, good flames actually with the Hussars combination. On the flank coming in.
Oh yeah, Pondegard in big trouble here. Oh my goodness. Alright, A is being captured in the meantime. I guess this is the only advantage.
They need to reset and get on the wall fast. Yeah. When it comes to Odin's Legion. They can stay up. We see Ragnarok already running towards the 8 point. And we have Rotten Banana as well going over there. Let's see if they will be able to hold the 8 point while Odin's Legion reset and get on the wall.
We got triple monks here sitting on the 8 point, but so many heroes coming in from Odin's Legion right now. Ragnarok
I think they should
leading
be able
the team
to
there. Yeah, they should be able to clean this up. I mean, it's only half capped, so Trebuchet trying to come in. Probably gonna hit a couple, but mostly monks actually from Pondegard itself.
Pondegard spawning and go from the right tower as well.
Yeah, Pondegard not even. Yeah, alright, gate closed as well, so Odin's Legion really on point here.
If they make it one side push, if they manage to just take a foothold on the wall and just wait for everyone to come in and just make it a one side push, and you can definitely win it with flames and traps.
Ooh, I think if Odin's push really hard for the flames right here, that could be a big loss to Pondegard.
Yeah, they can kill it. They can definitely kill the flames over here.
Ooh, Pondegard just dripping in one by one. Not gonna look good for them. But kills are coming in on both sides.
Coming one by one. This is a big This is a.
If one big trap hits though, if one big trap hits, it may be changing the favor. Ooh, another flamers from Brian. Let's go. Yep. Oh, and the slap is gonna hit really good as well. Yeah, there we go. Bine's flamers were huge there. Booster is on the run. Monska Mungo's on the run as well. Oh, Pondegard got it in the end.
It's just like I said, like if you can make it a one-way fight and you have the foothold on the wall combining with the flames and trap, there's nothing Odin's Legion can do about it.
Exactly. And this is the thing about Pondegard, and you cannot talk about this enough. Like, Pondegard is able to play so aggressively. Whenever they see an opportunity, they'll just go for it with the entire team and keep pushing.
We have Fipi here on top of the tower. Will he make it alive? Make it back alive? Hanzo gets the kill.
Oh, nice one. Alright, so she's be dropping like you said. Pondegard for a little bit, we're sitting on the right supply, but Odin's definitely want to hold that on for a bit. Let's take a look at the units, because I'm pretty sure that we saw a lot of units die, especially on the Pondegard side in this first fight. So even though it may be looking close, they may not have all the specialists that they need. So I'm gonna check it out. Alright, so what we got? Unit of Dagger Lances for XW. Then we got Flamers on Mr. Ability. He still got 2, so he's able to play with those. Brian sitting on 7 Flamers as well.
I don't see flames coming from Odin's Legion though.
Ooh,
This
Artie?
could look really
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. Artie also got flames from Pond Guard, so Pond Guard definitely still got some flamers up that they need. 6 minutes, so plenty of time for Pond Guard as well to start working on the B point.
Daigan is on flames. I hope he switched from jabs to flames.
Mhm.
He's the only guy with on Odin's Legion with flames actually. I hope he switches to flames when the fight is about to start or something.
Absolutely. A key thing, by the way, is that the gate is still not destroyed and it's open right now.
Yeah, it's not a problem if they have wall control, but one thing they need to be careful of when it comes to reinforcement fight, they need to have someone guarding the gatehouse.
Yep. Yeah, you can see Odin's playing aggressive mole, trying to get some units back there, but not able to get it. Pustoy continues to look for those specialists with his longbow.
See, Punker doesn't really have a good setup over there.
They got so many for Torbacho and Elf Sergeants.
Yeah, some monks as well. One Myrmilionis, Claymore, and
also four. Yeah, they got 4 imp shields, so they can protect any Fortebraccio that they're fighting.
I don't see imp shields. Yeah, I don't see a lot of imp shields come from Odin's Legions. Just only one.
Yeah, they got three now together, and also the Myrmidons. Yeah. Kev already waiting on the top side of the map.
I hope Dandan brings out his flames.
Yep, I do hope so.
Like, it's good to poke with the jabs, but you need to be close to the supply with your hero at least.
Are we gonna see a rotation? Not sure. Well, this is gonna work. Nice trebuchet on those Imperial shields, but they're not gonna die from it.
We have Pustoy on the wall as well. Looking,
they're
scouting for those
rotating back. I like it.
That's a really good positioning from Pustoy actually for the fight, so he can look out for the flames and kill it.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, we have Dragon being cut off. Oh.
Here we go. Alright, so Pond Guard is sending a group to the gate, so they want to make sure that the gate is open so they can come in with the huge flames from Dan in there.
Pine needs to use his flames on the other side. Like, they should push the other side, actually.
Yeah, they're changing now, that's for sure.
They should have only one flames and it's on the supply. They should just push the other side with the flames with Pine.
But Pusto
will definitely win the fight.
Pusto is definitely taking out Pine's flamers. They've only got 4 left now. They're slowly dropping. Flamers not fully in position.
They need to be aggressive. They need to be aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, gate push is going well for Pond Guard, by the way.
All decision, and also all decision, not waiting. They're moving from the other side as well.
Oh, here comes Mist with a Cav. No, not yet. They're still holding off. Xulda's Cav is reinforcing the Fortebraccio. Look how well he's doing this. Front line, moving to the Fortebraccio from Pine and Pond Guard.
They have gate control as well.
Yep. Ooh, Cav trying to clear up. Yeah, Superbone not holding on there. So Pond Guard are going to lose the top fight of the supply, but they're slowly...
It's actually half right now.
Yeah. Looks like they might be able to win this bottom fight.
They need to... Oh, this is nice. I hope the all decision play reset from the camp supply, actually. Or they will need to clear the supply ASAP.
Yeah, then respawns need to come in quickly. Oh, wait, no more blocks, so they need to send someone to the supply now.
Yeah, Pondigan needs to start moving.
Alright,
They still have the gate control, which is okay. So when it comes to reinforcement, they can reinforce anytime.
Exactly. Peepo's on the B point as well, so they need to send someone there. Hussar's going there as well. So, alright, let's see. Fight is going to break out. SKW is sitting at the front line here. Breezy's front lining with the imp shields.
Oh, the Jav from Dandan got a kill.
Oh, that's huge. So Jav's still useful, even despite having to use it on towers before.
Breezy's still blocking really well from Ragnarok as well.
Yeah. But also Breezy's still holding out. 31 left there.
Yeah, there is no like breaking shield unit like Myrmillion is over here. Oh, the flank from Betraves. Oh, this is huge. This is huge.
Yeah, the question is now what's going to come in. Huge Cav flank there for sure. It's going to come in.
Yeah, Cav coming from the gate right now. But it's not good. Like, Husa should never go there.
Oh, this is going to be issues. Ooh.
Yeah, the Cavs rotate. I would take control of the right now. There is no time. They need to do something.
Only 1.5 minutes left. They need to full push it now for the point and hope they can clear it out. Fortebraccio is already raised there though.
Oh, the Cav spam though.
Ooh, nice. Alright, they've been able to clean it a little bit.
The flames on the gate from Arte.
Yeah, only 10 alive. Alright, here comes more Cav. Fortebraccio, nice block from Pond Guard there at the gate.
They still have the time to. Yeah, they still do have the time to camp the B point though. They just need to move there. Like ignore these brushes. Few
Yeah.
brushes, just ignore them. Just move towards the B point
Yeah, they
and
need
keep your
to.
eyes on the flank.
And also start using the traps that they still have. They still have 7 traps left, but they may not be live perhaps. Ooh, nice Clipper Dragon and Pintro combination charge there. Ooh, Artie's there with the Flamers. That's gonna be good. It's only one though. Ooh, Pine is off, holding him really well there on the close to the supply.
I think Vanguard have this.
Yeah, they may have
If
it. They
they
may have
focus
it.
on clearing heroes, they have the brushy on
Yeah, they got
field.
20 seconds.
I think they can clear this.
Ooh, Clipper Dragon coming
This
in
is
from the
so
side
close
though.
and dangerous.
Yeah. This is gonna go down to the last second. They only need.
Oh, we have Sun coming.
They only need 15 or 20 seconds, probably about.
Oh, with the camels flanking on the brush on the
9,
jumps.
8, 7 on
Oh,
life.
if this.
Oh, here's
this
Camels
is
from
so close.
Shredders. Yeah. Camels from Shredders.
Yeah, the
It's gonna be
camels
big.
could one shot the heroes right now. But the ancient, I
Ooh.
think, may be able to hold the point right here. The ancient from Odin's Legion could be able to hold the point.
Yeah, and also the Leo Ranger that came in just now, and Forte Braccio is now there as well. Looks like Odin's Legion will control back. They're cleaning out Pond Guard. Only 8 alive, no supplies nearby. And also no units for Pond Guard anymore. Odin's Legion was able to get it there. Ooh, that was a nail biter there. Pond Guard.
It was like a comeback into a comeback into
Yeah?
a comeback.
Absolutely. Alright, so many comebacks. Let's see if Pond Guard can come back in the second game as well. But that was a good one.
Yeah.
Crazy rotations. Insane.
That flank though on the left supply push from the Traves was really huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like with his small hero, he flanked really well, and he created the space for the others to push in onto them.
Yep.
But the problem of their like in that push, Bongard had a really good position inside the city. Maybe they should have waited for the respawners to come and spawn on the gate, because then they gonna most likely spawn with Cav just like they did, and they will have the space inside the city to go on with their Cav, and they can cause chaos. They should have definitely been patient over there.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, they had like 2.5 minutes left, right, when the Cav was coming in. So they definitely could have taken a little bit more time, but it was so close in the end as well. But the fights lasted for like so many minutes as well. I think it was basically non-stop fighting for 5 minutes once we started going for the B point. So it was nuts. Alright, let's quickly round this one up and we'll go to the next one. Ruffle, 145 unit kills, that's insane. Doing really well. Then getting 6 hero kills, that's good. He's gonna need so many more though. He's gonna need like 15 in the next one if he wants to make it to first place, so it's gonna be tricky. Other than that, Payan showing up with MVP performance once again, leader for life 101, we're doing really well. All around really good stats on both teams, but Pondegard just dying a little bit more on the last
We
fight.
also have Postoy and Hippie killing a whole flames of unit. Like Postoy have 7 flames dead, and Hippie as well have 7 units of flames dead as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Postoy was just in the middle of the fight getting at least half of Payan's flames, so that was pretty impressive.
He had a really insane position.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a really insane position from Postoy. I would definitely make pressure on Postoy if it comes to like such a fight. Like at least have one guy there to make just pressure on him, so he can do nothing about killing flames. Because if you give a high ground for the longbow, he can definitely kill your flames.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks like such a small thing. Like, when are you gonna see a longbow sitting at the top that's gonna take out all your flamers? But knowing that it's Pusto, like you said, I think Bondgor definitely need to make a plan for that if they even notice, right?
One of the things that's not done, like it's not done by a lot of teams having a longbow on their team. So like this, like for example, Bondgard, for example, today maybe they're like, oh, my friends are dead by the longbow. This is something maybe today they learn, It's not like a thing that you usually see from my games, having longbow players in their teams. Like when it comes to like, for example, Asia, there's most of the time there's a longbow players, and they always do this type of stuff, and they always have their ways to deal with the longbow. But for example, today maybe this is the first time Pondgar sees this, and this is why you always need a guy to make pressure on the longbow, even a musket player if he's in this position.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like you also need to have a really good longbow player as well, right? I mean, I've also seen so many longbow players who were able to just get the serves and nothing else. So to keep making like value with the longbow is definitely not something that I think every player can do when they just pick up the longbow.
Yeah. Like you could make the fight far away from the longbow, or like this map there is a lot of buildings. Like you could use the buildings
Mm-hmm.
in a way that makes the longbow cannot shoot your units, or you could just make pressure or send one guy in the longbow so he can make pressure on that guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like I said, this is like first encounter I would say for Vanguard for a longbow, so it's really hard to deal with the situation. Like maybe today they'll learn it, so
Mm-hmm.
next time maybe it will be different.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could also see like the just Bondguard being that close at the B point. I mean, they were down so many units as well from that first fight, and even the second fight they lost. So the fact that they were even able to make it that close shows how well they can play together and how well they coordinate their team fights. But I wonder, even if they had gotten the B point, if they would still have the units to go for the final.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're gonna go to the defense now, though, from Pongard. It's not been there 40, like I said so many times now.
Yeah. In a second, Johnny.
Yeah, are you in the lobby? Not yet, right?
No,
No.
I'm joining right now.
Yeah, good. Don't want to miss you once again.
Okay, you can move.
There you go. Yep. Good. All right, it's gonna be good. All right, it's gonna be the last game as well.
Right now, I hope Pongor is like saw how Pusta was positioning himself, and it's
Mhm.
gonna be the same thing when it comes to attack. He's gonna be standing up on the wall, and they need to deal with him. They need to find a way to deal with him, whether by musket bombing him, so he falls down and they can kill him, or by sending a guy to make a pressure on him. So they don't need to be worrying about their frames. But it's also really hard because Odin's Legion also have musket players, and they will definitely be up there as well. So it's not just push story that you need to deal with.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And so this is what I'm thinking. People on the dual blade should maybe just go after him, right?
Yeah, maybe, but it's still hard if they have
Mhm.
someone protecting,
Yep.
Because
that's
also
true.
dual blade can be one-shotted easily by longbow.
Yep. If you played well, I've
If he
seen
stuns you
a
once,
couple of
oh, you're
those.
dead, bro. You're
No.
dead. Like Pusta is really good at killing light armor players. Like
Yeah.
if you give him, like, if he stuns you, you're dead.
Mhm.
It's over.
That's
So
pretty
it's
nuts.
kind of risky, So
Definitely.
you need to find your ways. You could make a fight far away from the walls,
Mhm.
so you can make the longbow kind of useless,
Yep.
or you need to find another way to deal with the longbow.
Exactly. It's
Maybe
crazy.
vassal longbows to shoot Pustai. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy. I mean, longbow is not often the weapon class that we talk the most about, right? It's typically it's the mauls, perhaps a short sword for breaking the front line back in the day, or the pikes or the muskets because they just deal so much damage. But the longbow can be such a sniper in especially when there's so many specialists out right now, and when with all the specialists that are banned, it's only the flamers, right, that make a huge difference in the team fights, especially with two teams that like to team fight. So if you look at the attack as well, Mask, I mean, we talked already about using the towers for getting high ground. I'm definitely expecting Pustoy to be up there.
Yeah, definitely.
So
If they're planning to defend well.
yeah, so that's gonna be really good for him. And then after that, he's also gonna have the high ground when they go for the B point as well, right? So I feel like it's gonna be.
We've seen Anne Gagner using it as well, like in
Mhm.
the against Vice series. We've seen Anne Gagner using it as well, but unfortunately, he was shooting the monks instead of the cocos. This comes to like player individual gameplay, I would say,
Mhm.
or captains or shot callers need to make sure that this longbow does that job. So it might not be the first time being used, but might be the first time being executed pretty well.
Definitely. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Looks like someone needs to switch. There we go. All right. So. Ready? Ready? Are you ready as well? Are you ready, Mask?
Yeah, this one.
All right. Good. Good. And here we go. It's gonna be the last game of the day. Let's go. Last game of the season, perhaps.
Of the season, maybe. Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be crazy. We'll see. I mean, I'm so hyped. This last game was the best one so far, I think. Crazy,
Yeah, for
crazy
sure.
comebacks within the
It was
comeback, within the comeback.
super close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be so good. So right now, both Wise Series, Pond Guard, and Oyabli and Odin's Legion would be tied. Oh no, Odin.
Muskets this time actually.
Yeah, let's go.
The pike players are switching to musket.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
From Pond Guard.
Yeah, a lot more aggressive weapon classes there. Pintroll's going to the glaive. Still no longbow. I do expect people to pick up the longbow, perhaps. We'll see, though. Only 2 units of Cav, Sons of Fenrir and RT. 3 units, 4 units of Cav now for Pond Guard.
We have a lot of shield maidens. I mean,
yeah, once again, They are not playing the Varangians anymore.
I would say it's the only tier 5 playable right now when it comes to infantry.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe not the best option to bring, but still one of the units that can be played.
Well, and it's still a really fast unit, right? The shield maidens, and they also protect your specialist really well, so it definitely has a purpose. But seeing so many, still.
We also see them starting with pikes. I think this is the first team today. Maybe we see starting with pikes.
Yeah, absolutely.
In case another team sallies out.
Yeah, definitely expecting it.
I've seen also fire archers coming from Dandan, I think.
Yeah.
There's a fire archer unit.
Nice. Yeah, and I mean, NA used to be the only region that sallied out almost every single game. But that's not been the case since a few seasons.
Actually, in this map, it's one of the maps that you could sally out without being interrupted. Like, they cannot reach you to the gate. They cannot reach the gate before you sally out.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing you could do is
selling out on this map
right?
is still a good option.
Yeah. Alright, so it looks like...
Speaking about glaive,
I
forgot to say Pintero as well.
Yeah,
he's one of the few guys that's been playing glaive with Sexy Kebab and Gabba.
Yeah. Yeah, and also Pine has been picking up. Like, Pine has been switching to so many different weapons, different times in his career, you could say. He's been insane on the pike, but he's also been playing support glaive for a while as well. So ever since the little knockback came in on the heat of battle, or the god of battle, yeah.
We see the battering ram no HP as well.
Yep, so that's done well. Not low enough yet though, but there's 3 muskets, so they may be able to take it down once. Oh, someone dropped down on the left side. That's gonna be problems. Oh, Super Bone
most
run.
likely die.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna give his life. Is Pintero gonna pick it up? Yep, there you go, Pintero. Honoring the glaive there. That's good, I like it.
But towers will definitely land.
Yeah, towers are gonna feel
on the first wave.
Yeah, and you can see the muskets from Odin's, right? Doing what you want them to do, going by the wall, just picking out the artillery one by one. Busto, by the way, doing a huge job there with the longbow once again. Trying to 1v1 eye pop. Not getting that many hits in though, this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so, we got Busto where we want him to be. He's not gonna move anywhere else.
We have the units though. Like, this is also like one of the mistakes that teams usually do. Like, the units, like towers are about to land, and their units are really far from the tower. Yeah. Like, if the attackers have their units close to the towers, they would just instantly rush, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is another mistake coming today from other teams. Like you see, for example,
look at that.
if they are being picked off, like this is a mistake. Looks like they're suiciding for the range.
Yeah, they're trying too hard to get those, but still 5 alive. So yeah, Artie's.
They're gonna definitely spawn on the left side and push around the side tower.
Yeah, they could. Who knows? I mean, they're not even on the left side, but Artie's.
You see Hippie and Pustoy and Veteran already rotating to the left side. So on guard right now should just focus on rotating to the side tower.
Oh, they continue to go for it, but Artie's Sons of Fenrir are just doing a great job defending those flamers. Or have they?
Yeah. Odin Station spawning on the left side, and they're gonna most likely push on the side tower. And...
Ooh, good trap there.
On guard still kinda late, not in position. That's so bad. They should give the wall by this. Like, they should give the wall, 100%. They're super late.
Yeah, they are late for sure. Meaning the Fort Watcher are just going to be picked apart once they reach.
This kind of moves predictable, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like they
But
definitely want to
Dandy
go. Like,
blocking A as well.
yeah, they definitely still want to fight. Pine is moving up there with his two. Oh, look the traps. Yeah, this fight is lost for sure. Let's see how much Pondegard can still take though.
We need the Imp Shield to frontline. Who's this Imp Shield? It's not pressing 2, bro. You just leave them in F2 formation. This Imp Shield is throwing the fight.
Yeah, it might be that too. Huge flames from Pine though. They may be doing something there.
Oh, the flames from the sides.
Yep.
I don't know why they're pushing with brushes though on the wall. This is so bad.
Oof. Yeah, mistakes were made comeback after comeback, and another unit of flames there are sitting on the side as well. That's Mr. Billy D this time.
They're kind of rushing. Like Pustoy wasn't up on the wall, on the tower, I mean, and the Imp Shield. I think the Imp Shield died. The Imp Shield player died. This is like you're playing an important unit, important role. You shouldn't die like that.
Yep.
Like the Imp Shield was left in F2 formation. He wasn't frontlining actually. This is why they lost. And the muskets and the longbow as well wasn't on top of the tower. I don't know if they spawned kind of late or they rotated a bit later on.
I don't know either, but I definitely know that Pondegard threw everything in the kitchen sink at that fight just to get back in it, and Odin's not executing well enough, like I said. But also, Pondegard did lose 2 of the Flamer units. So they are down a couple important specialists, both Mr. Ability and Pine losing those. So they now have only 1 left, I think. Oh, 2 actually, RT and Dealer. Yeah. On the right side. There's no contest on the side, so if they group up, they may be able to do the same thing that Pondegard did before.
Yeah, and good trap coming from the Ravni over here to delay the rotation.
Oh, they're giving up the space on the wall though. I would have liked them to play a little bit more aggressive on the wall here. Pondegard though, make sure that they have to flank. Monks and Fort Watch moving on the right side.
This is obviously you should have taken a foothold on the wall. They haven't done that.
Exactly,
They're
that's the
just
thing,
gonna
right?
rotate through the gate.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, they have 1 cap, so we're gonna see what they do.
Yeah, they're punching at least a unit of Fort Watch here, so that's gonna be good to start the fight.
I think the cav is gonna be going towards the supply, maybe.
Yeah. I prefer Pondegard's position, to be honest. If they get the Flamers in position from the high ground, then Odin's Legion are unable to get there.
A lot of Pondegard though, a lot of Pondegard are taking the long way to reposition themselves from the wall, like the rotation.
Ooh, nice trap. Alright, they're moving back up. Artisans of Fenrir finally dying. Yeah,
Odin's needs to be aggressive here. Like maybe one guy trap the rotation of the other guys. You don't need to trap any of these guys, just trap the rotation to delay the others and just push 15 versus. Yeah, this trap is not needed. Like just trap the guys coming from the other side to delay them, and then just push the guys over there. You're winning anyways, like it's 15 versus 7 or something. There's no way you would lose that. We have Pentero coming from the tower as well, winning the 1v1.
Yep, exactly. So Pentero doing the nice flank with the shield main, is that what you want to do?
Here Pondegard should just retreat.
Yeah,
like there's no way you would win. You already lost 7 guys. Just retreat and save your units for the next fight. Or resources. 4 minutes is a lot.
I think Pondegard definitely want to try and come back. It looks like they're not giving up. I think they want to make the good trade.
Being way too passive here from Odin's. Like way too passive from Odin's. Like he's just push here. There is nothing can stop you.
Yeah. So Pondegard probably
few people flanking.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, those moles are gonna do damage. Ruffle, then grab the dragon, just cleaning up the house here. Stability, iPod gonna be the last to fall. That's gonna be it. Yeah, so half of Pondegard were able to clean up the caps down on the wall. So Odin's gonna pick up this. It's only 4 minutes left now, so definitely a bit shorter on time than the matches we've seen before. But we can see this left supply maybe under trouble. No, not yet. Alright, so Odin's, I think, resetting now. Yeah, so let's take a look at the units lost, Mask. It's still pretty close. Although more T5 are left on the side of Odin's. But you can see that Pondegard definitely has a lot more T1s.
Like in this situation.
Yep.
We also hear like the reset coming from Odin's, they wasted like few seconds. Not few seconds, maybe like 10 seconds compared to other teams. Like Yeah Buddy, for example. They immediately resetted once the fight was about to end.
Yeah.
They don't waste time. Compared to Odin's Legion here, they took a bit of time to reset.
Yep, absolutely.
And all these few seconds, they all matter. We have Pusta already ready on the wall, scouting, looking for longbows or flames.
Yeah, it's only so Dealer for Life and RT both still got flames, but they have all units out right now, so they may be switching somewhere in the middle of the fight. We got Gabba on the side of Odin's with the flames, and I'm pretty sure is bringing those.
We have Dandon on the fire archers right now.
Yeah,
Although I wouldn't bring them. I would bring the flames. He has flames. I would
yeah, the
bring the
flames are there as
flames.
well. Yeah, they're probably saying we only
I don't
need the
know.
one though.
Just fire archers.
Alright, so this is what I like from Pongard. They're gonna
I
fight
don't
here.
think. Does Odin have flames? No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. There's one unit in the back. Gabba has it.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so this is perfect position for Pusto and also for Dan with the
Fire archers.
fire archers, right? I mean, if the flames from Pongard were to show themselves, Artie's
Yeah,
got them right
but
now.
shoot
Then.
the halberds. I wouldn't shoot the shield units with the
Mhm.
fire archers. We have Pongard ready to block immediately once they come.
Yeah, and you can
And
see.
this is really good from Pongard though, because
Yeah.
they see that Odins have a lot of pike units,
Mhm.
so they just hold them so the pike units become useless, and then you use the flames to win the fight.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I don't see flames coming though from
And
Pongard.
and Odins are using all these range on just one unit of Dealer for Life. That's the Imperial Shields, and now Pongard are re-engaging really nicely. Meanwhile, Turbostop is kept getting the little supply though as Pinchro is coming in through the gate.
No, they won't push. They won't do anything.
This is gonna be an interesting one. Liao Rangers holding off.
The
Flame is still
flames
alive. Yeah, there we
flames
go.
are-
Mr. Ability finally getting to the supply. Same with SKW.
But Pongard are winning the fight.
Yeah, but the gate, look at the gate. If a Kev comes in really quickly and for the watcher not race for Pongard, then the backline of Odins may be cleaning up here.
I wouldn't take like okay,
Ooh.
this is bad from others.
This
They
is
shouldn't
not
go
good.
and no, they shouldn't go there. They definitely shouldn't go there. They should cause chaos inside the city instead.
Mm-hmm.
This is so bad from others. If they choose to cause chaos inside the city
They're
and the
holding them
guys
off
that
though.
just died, they would just take
Yeah.
the gate.
But if they can block the supply, they do have both supplies. So Pongard is only able to reset with new units. Oh, my game crashed, so I'm gonna
We
get
have
back in.
Hippie and Dandan as well, blocking the supply and killing the flames over there from dealer. Pongard needs to focus on resetting.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the left supply being cut from Odin's and the right supply being blocked. This is gonna be so bad for Odin's Legion. I mean, for Pongard.
Yeah,
Nah, they should give B. They just give B. Just give B.
Just keep going because my game is crashed, so I'm getting back in.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I mean, Odin's Legion lost. You could say they lost the fight, but they played the macro better. I would say the macro of the fight they played it better, but when it came to unit versus unit, they lost the fight. And they are rushing immediately to the base.
How many units do they have?
9 alive. They just spawned
Oof.
from Pongard. And Odins are kind of rushing the base, but they're rushing one by one. Out they group up as soon as possible and use traps to block off units coming.
Alright, here I'm back again. Woof! Just in time for the last couple minutes, perhaps. Oh man, so much cap going to go in. Keep talking, Masca, I'm totally out of it.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, Pongard are coming right now with shields and brushes to the point, and Odins keep coming with cav, but they're going one by one. It's really big mistake. They should focus on grouping up. They have the time they need, and they finally group up with the
Ooh.
flames.
Yeah, nice
and
flame from
down
Dan in there.
and clean everything right now. Yep.
Alright, pretty soon we're only gonna see
And-
T1 coming in from Pongard. It's gonna be really, really hard for them to come back now.
Looks like it's gonna be 2-0 for Odins. They're gonna take the dub down.
Are we not gonna get any tiebreakers this season? Pongard tried
you
so
want
hard. They tried so hard to give us tiebreakers. Pongard, make the hero play, survive for 4 more minutes on the point. It's not gonna happen, I think. Odin's pushing off Valiant. C4 is gonna be the last one to die. Does make it on the point. What a hero. But there we go. The last game of the season goes to Odin's. Thank you, Mask, for casting. That was great.
Nice.
Oh man. Banger fight though. That was good.
Oh my god. I mean, look at Pustoy and Hippie again.
Yep.
11 and 10. That's crazy. That's crazy
It's
right there.
insane. Yeah, and I mean, the answer from Pongard to their flamers getting killed was basically bring more flamers. They brought 4 units of flamers in the last game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe. But
So,
they should like this is one thing also, but this comes to group play. It's not
mhm.
like team play. This comes to group play, I would say.
Yep.
They should have if they bring flames outside the supply,
Mhm.
they should have like an imp shield player ready to move with them.
Yep.
So when the longbow tries to shoot, maybe he kills two. That's fine. You still have five. Usually the flames, if you have seven flames, they usually don't fit inside the imp shield unless you have five. And if you have imp shield covering you, then you have a chance to survive, basically.
Mhm. Yeah, you just really need those combinations of units, right? I mean, and that's pretty nice about the meta right now. If you take out the monks and the Yanya Dao cavalry, at least.
Yeah. Honestly, like the meta for the CBR that we had recently is one
Mhm.
of the best meta for me personally
Mhm.
that I've seen. Like you had the shield unit, you had an anti-shield, you had a pike unit, you had an anti-pike, we had cav, you have anti-cav. It was like everything was there.
Mhm.
But like this meta right now with monks and it's not really the best. It's so boring.
Yep. Definitely.
And it doesn't require skill, like the method for
Mhm.
the last CBL, for example, that we recently had. Like you need to use your hero to break formation or stop
Yep.
charges or stop. You need to do something. It's not just pressing two or doing blah blah blah. You need to macro the unit. You need to exit. You need to use the abilities properly, time it properly, use your abilities as well. But right now it's just kind of boring.
Mhm. Yep. Definitely a different game for sure. I mean, and that's why it's nice to at least have those bans. I mean, it would be really cool to have bans in ranked and sieges as well. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but well, maybe someday. All right, let's finish this game and then we can talk about more stuff. Post battle analysis. You can see the first fight going to Pongard, I think, then Odin's, then... Oh no, the other way around. So Odin's first fight, then Pongard, then Odin's.